The year is 1945. The war in Europe has come to an end. For 147 German army nurses taken into custody during the final days of the conflict. However, the journey is not yet finished. Most of these women are very young, many only in their early 20s. During the war, they served in military medical units on both the Eastern and Western fronts. They were captured amid the widespread disorder that followed the collapse of the German government. Throughout their service, they worked in demanding environments, often under severe limitations. Their duties involved caring for injured soldiers, providing urgent medical assistance, and operating under constant strain. These experiences exposed them to the full weight of war and left lasting emotional impressions. Now, they are aboard a United States troop ship, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, bound for America. Anxiety follows them closely. Years of wartime messaging have shaped their expectations, leading them to believe they will face harsh judgment or severe consequences. They fear being seen solely through the lens of the conflict, rather than for the humanitarian roles they performed. As the ship moves steadily across the vast ocean, uncertainty defines their thoughts. They prepare themselves for strict supervision, isolation, or difficult conditions ahead. What lies before them remains unknown, and their assumptions shaped by fear rather than experience will soon be tested. On June 12, 1945, the vessel docks in New York Harbor. Under armed guard, the women are marched down the gangplank, the air thick with the scent of salt and American summer. But waiting on the pier, they do not find prison trucks. Instead, a fleet of Red Cross ambulances and buses stands ready. Colonel Margaret Harper, a U.S. Army medical officer, steps forward to meet them. Addressing the group in careful, precise German, she shatters their expectations. "You are prisoners of war," she tells them, "but you are also nurses." She informs them that they will be deployed to military hospitals across the United States to care for wounded American soldiers, and that they will be accorded the full respect due to medical personnel under the Geneva Convention. The women exchange disbelief-filled glances. Respect from the enemy was an alien concept. Loaded onto buses, they are transported to a processing center in New Jersey. Here, the first true shock arrives. They undergo thorough medical examinations conducted by female American nurses. There is no harshness, no humiliation, only professional care. They are issued clean clothes, new U.S. Army nurse uniforms tailored to their sizes, complete with fresh shoes and stockings. They are given hot showers with real soap. Then comes the meal. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, fresh vegetables, apple pie, and coffee served with real cream. 23-year-old Hannah Klein from Berlin takes her first bite of the pie and pauses. Tears begin to stream down her face. She is not alone. Around the mess hall, many of the women weep quietly over their plates. They do not cry from sorrow, but from the overwhelming simple kindness of being fed like human beings. That night, resting in clean barracks on real beds, Hannah whispers into the darkness to her bunkmate. "They gave us uniforms, like we are still nurses." Her friend replies in the quiet dark. "They gave us dignity." Photo prompt. Realistic World War II archival. Style black and white photograph. 1,940 seconds lens rendering. Soft film grain. Historically accurate details. Natural lighting. High resolution. Suitable for microstock. Dim lighting inside a military barracks. Two young women in pajamas whispering across their bunks. Intimate and somber mood. The following day, the group is divided and dispersed by train to hospitals spanning the continent, from California to New York. Their new mission is clear: to assist in the care of severely wounded American GIs returning from the carnage of Europe and the Pacific. What transpires within those hospital walls will fundamentally alter the perspectives of everyone involved. The trains carry the German nurses across the vast American landscape, from the lush green hills of the East Coast to the open plains of the Midwest, and down to the sun-baked facilities of the Southwest. They arrive at hospitals overflowing with casualties, young men with missing limbs, burned faces, and bodies shattered on the beaches of Normandy, the islands of the Pacific, and in the frozen forests of the Ardennes. The nurses brace for hostility. They are, after all, the enemy in uniform. They steel themselves for curses and for soldiers who will refuse their touch. But they are about to encounter something entirely different. In a hospital in Kansas, 24-year-old Liesel Hartmann from Vienna is assigned to a ward dedicated to amputees. Her first patient is a 19-year-old private from Iowa who lost both legs during the Battle of the Bulge. He looks up at her uniform, where the faded German insignia is still visible, and turns his face away in disgust. Liesel understands. She says nothing. She simply begins her work, changing dressings, adjusting morphine drips, and cleaning wounds with the same clinical precision she had practiced on her own countrymen. By the third day, the private begins to watch her. On the fifth day, he asks for water. Liesel brings it immediately. He drinks, then speaks, his voice quiet. "You're good at this." Liesel nods. "I was a nurse for 4 years." He pauses. "On our side?" She meets his eyes. "Yes." He remains silent for a long moment before whispering, "Thank you." Across the country, similar scenes unfold. In a California hospital, Anna Weber from Dresden assists in a complex surgery on a Marine suffering severe burns from Iwo Jima. The American surgeon, exhausted, hands her instruments without hesitation. After the operation concludes, he looks at her. "You've done this before." "Many times," Anna replies. The surgeon nods with professional respect. Good hands. The German nurses work grueling shifts. They are paid the same rate as American nurses in camp script, a fair amount. They eat the same rations and take the same breaks, while some American patients initially refuse their care. Pain and time have a way of changing minds. A sergeant from Texas, recovering from a shattered arm, confesses to his German nurse, Greta. "I hated Germans," he tells her. "Thought you were all monsters, but you've got gentle hands." Greta offers a sad smile. "We were told the same about you." By autumn, the unexpected has become the norm. The German women are no longer viewed as the enemy. They are simply nurses. Patients begin to ask for them by name. Some write letters home describing the German girl who sings while she changes bandages. In one ward in Illinois, a group of GIs pool their cigarette rations to purchase a small Christmas gift for their German nurse, a bar of real chocolate. When they present it to her, she weeps. She cries not for the chocolate, but because they have referred to her as our nurse. The American staff observes this transformation with quiet amazement. Colonel Harper, touring the hospitals, notes in her official report, "The German medical personnel have performed their duties with professionalism and compassion. Many American patients have expressed gratitude for their care. This arrangement has proven mutually beneficial. Yet, beneath the surface, the German nurses carry their own heavy burdens. They had treated dying boys on the Eastern Front. They had seen their own cities incinerated. Now, they treat the men who had dropped the bombs. In that shared space of pain and healing, something silent and profound occurs. It is perhaps not forgiveness, but understanding a recognition that war makes monsters of everyone, until someone chooses not to be one. In U.S. hospitals, these German nurses became indispensable. Wounded GIs, amputees, Burn victims, the shell-shocked arrived in constant waves. Though many refused German care initially, compassion invariably prevailed. Liesl Hartmann continued to tend her double amputee, who soon requested only her assistance. Anna Weber remained a fixture in surgery, earning praise for her battlefield-honed skills. Patients clamored for them by name. In a poignant gesture, one blinded Marine gave his Purple Heart to his nurse, whispering, "Carry it for me." Soldiers wrote home about the German girls with the gentle hands. The nurses found a new purpose: healing instead of mere survival. American doctors admired their ability to improvise. As Colonel Harper noted, professionalism and gratitude defined the relationship. Barriers dissolved. When a sergeant admitted, "I hated Germans, but you've got heart," and she replied, "We were told the same," the cycle of hatred broke. By late 1945, bonds had formed, and small gifts were exchanged. The nurses left as healers who had healed themselves. In the shared pain, understanding emerged. War makes victims of all, until care chooses otherwise.